you're on the hunt for your next laptop, you came to the right place. Whether it's just for watching Netflix or for doing something like editing video all day, I've got recommendations for just about every use case and budget coming up now. This is Luke with Digital Trends. Thanks for hanging out with us. Before we get started, if you get anything useful from this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Both of those things help us out immensely. And hey, if you actually want to buy one of these great laptops, we'll have links down below for you to check out. With that out of the way, let's get to our first pick. Let's start out with the laptop that most people should buy. That means if your needs are fairly basic, if your work and daily needs are defined by Zoom calls, work in basic web applications, and maybe some light photo editing or web design, the laptop I find myself recommending all the time is the MacBook Air. And that really is not true of the MacBook Air before the M1, trust me. Despite being completely fanless, the M1 has turned the MacBook Air into a fantastic little laptop with great battery life and excellent performance. Most people really don't need the performance of more powerful laptops, so trust me, don't waste your money. The MacBook Air, even the base configuration, is a great purchase, even though this model came out in late 2020. Alternatively, if you want a laptop like this, but want to stay on the Windows side of the fence, I'd recommend the Asus ZenBook 13 OLED. This laptop really impressed me. It comes with both a Ryzen 5000 processor, so you get great performance, and it has an awesome OLED screen. Next, let's move on to something a little more affordable, because I know that spending a few $100 more will make a big difference on your laptop purchase, but the truth is if you're not spending the majority of your workday on your laptop, you can get away with something cheaper, and I think the Lenovo Chromebook Duet 5 is your best option. Yes, it's a Chromebook, and yes, it's a detachable 2-in-1, kind of like a Surface Pro. But in this case, both of those facts are to this device's benefit. It's super light and portable, and since Chromebooks support Android apps, having a touchscreen and removable keyboard can be handy while traveling or reclining on the couch. Not to mention, this is the cheapest device you can get an OLED screen on. That's right, this cheap little laptop comes with an OLED screen, and the price comes with the keyboard attachment bundled in, which really keeps it low. Next, let's head over to the opposite side of the price spectrum. So let's talk about expensive gaming laptops for a second. We'll get to this one in a second, but first, the Razer Blade 14 continues to be my favorite gaming laptop, bringing not only great performance, but also a form factor that just seems impossibly small. It also comes with a super fast, but also sharp display. Really, it's everything you can expect in a premium Ultrabook, but this one just happens to come with an RTX 3080 inside for some great gaming performance. While the Razer Blade 14 remains my primary pick, it's expensive, and it does get hotter than I wish it did. It's not perfect. And if those things are a concern for you, I'd recommend this one, the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro, which is thicker and admittedly a little more gamery, but it has excellent performance and it offers a better value for that performance. Side note, if you want some more gaming laptop recommendations, specifically some cheaper ones, check out the video that we made where we go down a longer list of options. I think you'll find something there that you'll like. Now, if you want performance, but more for creative applications and not so much for games, look no further than the brand new MacBook Pro. I mean, come on, talk about a comeback here. This MacBook Pro not only fixes just about every problem with the previous generation, like the port selection, the keyboard, the thermals, it also improves things that were really good about the MacBook Pro, like the webcam and the speakers, except they're even better this time around. Or take the screen, for example, which is now a mini LED panel with a variable ProMotion refresh rate of up to 120 Hertz. It looks incredible, and yes, even with the notch, I really appreciate just how tiny these bezels are too. But really, it's the M1 Pro and the M1 Max that make this such a breakthrough from a computing perspective. Hot, power-hungry, discrete GPUs finally have a legitimate rival, and Apple's implementation of that chip makes the MacBook Pro the best laptop for creative professionals, again, for the first time in a long time. And that's exactly what the MacBook Pro is always supposed to be. As an alternative, if you do want to stay on the Windows side of the aisle, I'd still recommend the Dell XPS 17. This big boy has great performance and an amazing OLED screen. It just doesn't get anywhere near as good of battery life as the MacBook Pro, and it does tend to get hot and loud when you put it under pressure, which the MacBook Pro really doesn't. Now, to end this list, I've got 2 more laptops I want to mention that do something entirely new, and not just for the sake of experimentation, but actually to the benefit of the experience of the laptop. And the first is this one, the Framework laptop. What a surprise this thing was. A completely modular design from a brand new company that somehow doesn't sacrifice quality, design, or price to make sure that this is the easiest laptop to upgrade and fix you'll ever use. If you care about sustainability even a little bit, I can fully recommend the Framework laptop not only as a longer lasting, more environmentally friendly device, but it's also just a really good laptop in its own right. The ports are fully modular, meaning you can swap them out to be whatever setup you need. It's thin, it's light, and it even has a 3:2 aspect ratio screen that's great to work on. The final laptop to mention here is the Surface Laptop Studio, which I know has both its fans and its naysayers, but my experience of this laptop was a lot of fun. I'm well aware of the limitations of the processor and that the look of this design isn't for everybody, but I'm a big fan. I like the flexibility of the hinge to move between those different stages, and the GPU performance and that 120 Hz refresh rate make this a decent laptop to do some light gaming on. More than that, it just feels like a fresh design, and it made me excited about both the future of laptops and of the Surface brand. So if you're an illustrator, or if you just love the idea of being able to take notes right on the screen with your stylus, I gotta recommend the Surface Laptop Studio as the best implementation of this kind of 2-in-1 laptop that you can buy right now. So that's it. That's my list of the best laptops you can buy right now. And if you bought a laptop recently or are on the hunt, I want to know which laptop and why. So leave me a comment down below. Can't wait to get in there and hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching.